Sonny Boy is without a doubt one of the oddest shows I've seen in quite some time, and I would probably go as far to say ever, at least in the anime world. This is a show that I think you could probably read 100 different theories on what's happening and why things are happening, and probably say, you might be right, and maybe one out of those 100 turn out to be right, but it's so odd that I don't think even after a couple episodes you can necessarily say this is exactly where it's going. There's clearly certain things that make sense, like there's rules to the worlds, and, they do a pretty good job breaking down the transferring, how if things break on the island, they stay broken. But with all these different mechanisms and portals that go back to the school, things will reappear and they'll be a-okay. But there's so much we don't know, like why it happened, what's the meaning of it, is any of these students behind it, and there's a lot of characters. And I said in episode 1's review is that I don't think it's an issue, and I still stick by that statement. I don't think too many characters in this show is ever going to be an issue, because it's essentially a story about the situation, and any of those characters can interact with that situation and have it work. It's not like we necessarily need to see specific character development outside of probably 3 or 4 of the characters that are listed as main characters. The rest will just be the supporting cast who are kind of tagged along with the main story hook. This episode had my mind definitely racing, and one of the characters, Mizu, I was very much under the suspicion she did something because they do flash back to when they were in school. She was posting things online seemingly, and I don't know what happened to that teacher, but it seems like some weird shit went on, and there's definitely a lot of bullies in this show, and one of the characters I hated in episode 1, glad was a part of episode 1, I hate even more in episode 2. There's something about this smug bastard smile and how it feels like this is like the antagonist of the series, and if not, I will be shocked. There's something about a character who just feels so sinister as if it's the supervillain, yet it hides in plain sight. It's a parasite, that's the best way to put it. Maybe it'll turn out to be my favorite character, I don't know, highly doubt it. But still, there's something about someone living in a castle. She has 3 cats, who I think is her ability, because otherwise, how the hell would you have 3 cats basically survive and transfer around, because they seemingly were brought in throughout their school. Not like you brought 3 cats to your school to begin with, so that must be her ability, which is interesting. It's almost like because she's such a lonely character, her ability is something to make her feel comfort, right? But the idea that she was creating money, she created a forest fire towards the end, it seems like her ability is most likely a form of creation, but most likely the thing that she basically put all her focus on were those cats. I imagine that castle as well was something else she probably made just so she had some luxury of living, right? But it's so interesting because after seeing 40-ish minutes of this anime, I have no idea what the purpose of this anime is, yet I'm just as excited as I was walking into a show that seemed stylistically similar to Ping Pong the Animation, with, I don't know, what were we going to go? Were we going Maioya after episode 1? Are we going Lost? What's going on? And I have no idea. I think it's fascinating to watch a group of characters essentially just trying to survive while uncovering the mysteries of this island, where you have one intelligent guy kind of making sense, and the observation that things spontaneously combust when you don't pay for something. So they introduce essentially cryptocurrency. I mean, talk about a 2021 anime. You literally solved the issue with cryptocurrency, which is probably opening up a new bag of worms. Like, is everyone going to have the same amount of money? Is it going to be like, are they going to divide up jobs to earn money? Hard to say, right? But I feel like the person making the currency that is going to allow you to survive and not have your items spontaneously combust is without a doubt the most powerful person currently in the show, and I wouldn't doubt it if you need to be on his good side if you ever want to have enough money to buy the things that you want, right? I think Sonny Boy is going to be one of those shows that every week I'm going to read a new theory, and I'm probably just not even going to put too much thought into it because I truly feel like this is going to be one of the more unexpected rides that this season has going for it. And I really think it's impressive that we do have an entire school, basically, of characters. And I can't necessarily say I am in love with any of these characters. They all serve their purpose from what I see. A girl doing her makeup and she was just in her little hut and it spontaneously combusted. That served a purpose to show you that something's going on with the rules of play here and that anything could happen. Is someone trying to kill them, or is it part of the world mechanics, right? You don't need to have this emotional connection to see a girl freaked out that her lipstick basically burned her entire home down. There's a lot of uncertainty to this show, and I definitely think there will be 3 or 4 characters that we do feel like have an emotional arc. I think Nagura is going to be one of them, right? Because he seemingly is kind of a loner, doesn't really need anything in life. That's probably going to serve a purpose. Mizu kind of being someone who wants attention but doesn't really have it, right? There's certain characters that definitely will have arcs. But you have 20-ish characters, if not more, in this series, right? Usually that'd be an issue because the anime would, like, really try to give them all, like, different arcs and things like that. Moyoiga is a show that failed at doing it, but if you look at it as a comedy, it's hard not to have fun with that show, even if it was a bit of a train wreck. Here, however, it really is, the main character is the island, it feels like. And I was talking about last week how I was wondering if it was going to be more of an escape room style situation where, like, if you conquer the island, you go to a new location. And they kind of touch upon that exact thing, where the different doorways and things in the past that they discovered seemingly go to so many different varied locations. There was lava, there was something from, like, I don't even know, it looked like a horror manga. There's so many different worlds seemingly, but they're sticking to the island, and I'm curious if that's going to be the main set for this entire show, and if basically the story's just going to branch off into ways like they'll explore other realms to hopefully uncover the secret and maybe try to return home. But if episode 1 was anything to go off of, their original bodies are seemingly dead. But with all the powers and ideas at play, maybe they can make new ones or something? It's hard to say, right? Because on one hand, I can see many of the characters being content with just staying on a luxurious island, going surfing, having all this food. But there's got to come a point where, you know, you get a Lord of the Flies situation, or you get something where it's going to force characters to really freak out. We had a taste of it in this episode with things spontaneously combusting, people trying to turn on a character because she's the odd one out, and it wasn't even her fault. You could have easily seen the entire thing crumble for a single character because one person opened their mouth and another interpreted it the wrong way, and it kind of became the telephone game, which is, hey, you whisper into one person's ear and you basically do it around a circle. They pass your message, but by the time it gets back to you, it's not even recognizable to what you said to the first person, except that happened in real time, and it was kind of very frightening because there's some plenty fearful characters in this show, and I feel like a lot of people are going to either get killed or very bad things are going to force them away, and it's going to be interesting to see. It probably will happen to some of the main characters, but it'll be interesting. It's fearful, it's intense, it's suspenseful, the directing and atmosphere is completely on point, and originally I was going to walk in thinking, if we don't leave the island or seemingly set up leaving the island, is that going to disappoint me? But no, it's not. I think there's a lot of potential of still exploring outside the island while sticking to it as the main hub and home world as we build up to whatever the hell the endgame wants to be. Let me know your thoughts and definitely your feelings and theories if you have any down below. What did you think? What did you think of the spontaneous combustion? I love that plot line, especially with a character who seems so sad, and it was kind of heartbreaking to see how she was treated. But let me know your feelings down below. Drop a like to help promote the video and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.